The Comanchero Motorcycle Club, with its distinctive name and notorious reputation, is one of the most well-known outlaw motorcycle clubs in Australia and beyond. Founded in Sydney, Australia in the late 1960s by Jock Ross, who envisioned it as a group of motorcycle enthusiasts. However, it quickly evolved into an outlaw motorcycle gang who became deeply involved in criminal activities. Their criminal portfolio includes drug trafficking, extortion, violence and organised crime. The club has been notorious for its role in Australia's drug trade, especially cocaine and methamphetamine distribution. Over the last decade, the Comancheros have been led by their president, Mark Buddle. However, after law enforcement received copies of messages from encrypted messaging app Anom implicating Buddle in the importation of 160 kilos of cocaine, he found himself a fugitive on the run. Just quickly, if you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video, it really does help me out. This is the story of Mark Buddle and the Comanchero Motorcycle Club. The Comanchero Motorcycle Club was founded in 1966 in the city of Sydney, Australia by Scottish immigrant Jock Ross. Jock ruled the club with a strong hand, introducing military tactics to take them into war against other clubs such as Banditos MC and the Hells Angels. He also gave members military-style titles, his own being Supreme Commander. As the club grew, it developed a reputation for embracing a criminal lifestyle. Members became involved in various illegal activities including drug trafficking, extortion, arms smuggling and organised crime. This shift towards criminality marked a turning point in the club's history and laid the foundations for a turbulent journey. The Comancheros have been notorious for their involvement in drug trafficking. Their connections in the criminal underworld have allowed them to play a substantial role in the illegal drug trade. Their activities have made several headlines. In 2021, police raided 26 homes across Queensland and 42 men were arrested, including members of the Comancheros. As a result of these raids, the police seized illegal drugs with an estimated street value of $1 million, which included 113 kilos of cannabis, 134 grams of cocaine, and 84 grams of methamphetamine. In 2022, a former acting national commander of the Comancheros, Siana Fakalsilia, was sentenced to over 13 years in prison for leading a conspiracy to import 600 kilos of methamphetamine into New Zealand. However, in this video, we're going to focus on the former president of the Comancheros Motorcycle Club, Mark Buddle. A photo from 1999 shows Buddle long before his days with the Comanchero MC, standing in the back row of his Year 9 class at JJ Cahill Memorial High School in Mascot. Buddle joined the Comanchero MC at the age of 21 and began to rise through the ranks. The Comancheros have a number of rivals, including the Hells Angels. In 2009, club president at the time, Mick Howie, and 12 Comancheros confronted 5 Hells Angels at Sydney International Airport. A fight broke out, and Hells Angels associate Anthony Zervas was killed. In 2011, Mick Howie was found guilty of murder. With Howie behind bars, this left the presidency open for grabs. This position went temporarily to Hohepa Nakuru until he left Australia in 2010. This is when Mark Buddle stepped up as the new president of the Comanchero Motorcycle Club. With Buddle leading the Comanchero MC, they continued to grow their criminal empire. However, in 2016, Buddle fled to Dubai after becoming a person of interest in the robbery turned murder of security guard Gary Alibon in Sydney in 2010. On the day he was killed, Alibon had been dropping off cash at a Commonwealth Bank ATM when just after 6 AM a trio of armed men wearing balaclavas ambushed him and his crew of 3. The bandits snatched a cash box containing $300,000 and should have immediately made their getaway in a stolen silver Audi S8 driven by a 4th accomplice. Instead, one of the gunmen shot Alibon in the back while the guard had his hands raised, then stole his work-issued firearm in one last indignity. In Dubai, Buddle attempts to set up a new life with his partner Melanie Tiwisha and 2 children. While overseas, Buddle seemingly stayed in control of the Comanchero MC and in 2017 declared himself Commander of the World after texting an associate, "I'm the Commander of the World. No one is to touch another member or set up another chapter without my permission." In 2018, Buddle leaves Dubai for the first time to travel to Greece. During this time, Sydney underworld figure John Macris is murdered outside his home in Athens. Shortly after, Buddle returns to Dubai. Despite seeming suspicious, 2 Bulgarian brothers were arrested and charged with the murder of John Macris. After returning to Dubai, Buddle continued to live a life of luxury. However, several years later in 2021, Buddle finds himself in trouble after a video surfaced showing him fighting tourists at a resort pool. This leads to Buddle fleeing Dubai and splitting with his partner Melanie Tawisha. Buddle hops between numerous countries, including Iraq, Lebanon and Turkey, before settling in Cyprus. A Cyprus news outlet claimed Buddle organised to live in northern Cyprus after meeting with high-ranking politicians who granted him residency until August 6, 2022. While in northern Cyprus, it's believed Buddle was still heavily involved in the underworld, as well as investing in local businesses and real estate, and even marrying a mystery woman by the name of Uzge. However, while Buddle was enjoying his life of luxury in Europe and continuing to grow his criminal empire, he had made one huge mistake. Buddle and his criminal associates were using the encrypted phones known as Anom to conduct their criminal activities. Little did they know, Anom had been conceived, built, marketed and sold by the police, who were monitoring every text exchange. The people selling the phone claimed that Anom was the most secure messaging service in the world. Not only was every message encrypted so that it could not be read by a digital eavesdropper, it could only be received by another Anom phone user. Moreover, Anom could not be downloaded from any of the usual app stores. Anom seemed the ideal channel for Buddle to arrange the importation of $40 million worth of cocaine into Australia. It was not, however, a secure phone app at all. Every message sent on the app since its launch in 2018, 19.37 million of them had been collected and many of them read by the Australian Federal Police, who, with the FBI, had conceived, built and sold the devices. With this evidence piling up, law enforcement moved swiftly. In July 2022, Buddle was captured at gunpoint, returning to his hideout in Cyprus by officers identifying themselves as FBI. Buddle was later extradited to Turkey, where he was held by Turkish authorities. Eventually, Buddle was deported from Turkey, and Australia's most wanted man was apprehended by Australian Federal Police in Darwin. He was then dragged onto a private jet and extradited from Darwin to Melbourne. Buddle is currently on remand in a Victorian jail where he faces drug charges and allegations of trying to import $40 million worth of cocaine into Australia. I can only imagine the arrest of Mark Buddle has caused a power vacuum within the Comanchero MC, and other criminals are waiting or have already stepped in to take his place. But let me know what you think below in the comments. As always, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, take care.